podcast dedicated to informing you about the toy we all love, Lego.
Half of the movie is watchable, and the other half is listenable.
This plan, I learned a lot of different things about what to do and what not to do as far as stop motion animation is concerned.
Brick film. That is awesome, and I loved it.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the LBAM podcast. Today I'm joined again by Gabriel Clift, and we're going to be talking about news and other stuff. So how's it going, man?
As far as what I've been doing with Lego, I've come across a big dilemma actually. And I meant to post on Google Plus, but it's actually because I really want to enter the April Fancy Pants contest. And I'm just wondering if it's worth it to stop production on Mirkwood. Because I don't think Mirkwood would be considered a chase, because that's what the contest is, to make a chase scene. And this is more of a big battle. So what I'm wondering if I should, after the dongle door scenes, start working on another episode of Lost Kingdom and enter that and make it a chase kind of episode. I've just been thinking about that lately because I didn't enter his last one, and I'd really like to enter this one. So that's mostly what I've been thinking about lately, as far as, you know, what stop motions I'm going to make next. And yeah, will you be entering?
I don't know. It depends upon where I end up in filming by the end of the month, as far as my Jango Fett video, because there's going to be a chase scene in it. And I don't know if I get it finished by then, which I probably won't. Will depend on if I enter it. And I don't know if it has to be 100% a chase video, or it can have a chase in it, but also have other stuff. So if it has to be completely a chase scene, then I won't be able to enter it. But yeah, so
someone should ask him about that. Because I was wondering that too. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to make a Lost Kingdom episode that's just a chase. So
yeah, I might have to get in touch with them and ask them about that. So yeah, I guess as far as what I've been doing, I ordered a remote control for my camera, so I don't have to take pictures by holding the camera. I can just click a button and it'll take the picture for me.
That was very cool. I mean, I think that's something that a lot of brick filmers should have if they're not going through capturing software.
Yeah.
They need to have one of those.
Yeah. So I won't have as bad of the shaky cam, I guess. So, and that's really it. I am kind of stuck, and I'm kind of getting myself out of that hole, but I'm stuck in my Jango Fett video, because I got this big lead up to this scene, and now I'm kind of trying to figure out how to slow it down. So I think I figured it out, though. Or I guess not slow it down, but bring one part of the action sequence to a halt so I can move on to the next part of it. So yeah, you can't sit down and say, oh, I'm going to make an action sequence. You have to go through this whole process of figuring out what happens when, and I had to end up shooting this one scene like 4 times, and I decided to, and it was so random that I kind of had to do it, because in all the other scenes I had the corpse the dead body laying there, so it was like, well, how am I gonna explain this without shooting the scene where he gets killed? So, but I ended up getting it cut, and I'm gonna kind of leave it up to the audience's imagination as to, because it's gonna start off the battle, then it's gonna cut away to another scene, then come back to it. So I guess the explanation for it is he gets shot in between those two scenes. So yeah, so that's basically all I've done with Lego. So yeah, I guess we'll do brick film of the week. Do you have one?
Brick film of the week. It's always hard for me to remember these. I'm gonna go with yours, the Lord of the Rings one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because, I mean, that was pretty amazing.
Thanks.
No problem.
And I guess mine is going to be, I forgot what this dude's name was, but his video was called Egyptian Holiday. And I guess to find it, you just do a search for Lego Egyptian Holiday. But basically, it's really well done. He uses actual sand for his brick film, but he also has sand-colored Lego bricks up under him. So it's really neat how he's got it set up, and he has all these detailed props and stuff with the tan parts, and it's kind of based around the Adventures Lego theme from like the early 2000s, but yeah, it was really well done. The animation was really smooth. It was really neat.
Cool.
So I guess we'll move on to the news. Let me pull up my sheet. The news. Alright, so first up is that the Simpsons minifigure packs have been revealed. Yay!
Awesome!
We can end this theme. But I mean, do we really need Simpsons Lego? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Do we really need a Simpsons Lego theme?
No. Nobody does.
Yeah. I mean, the minifigures just look weird. I've never watched the show, and have you ever watched the show?
I've watched it a couple times, but it's dumb. It really is. I don't know why they're doing it.
Yeah. So, I'm not gonna go through all the minifigures, but yeah, they look weird. Some of the parts are a little interesting, I guess, but not enough to make me want to buy them. So, I guess that's all we'll say on that. Next piece of news that I'm really excited about is that for May the 4th, Star Wars Day, Lego does these incentives to buy like $100 worth of sets. And this year, the minifigure you get if you spend $100 on Star Wars sets is the Darth Revan minifigure, which is a pretty awesome minifigure. At least, and for me being a Star Wars fan, that's a minifigure I never thought they'd do because he's in the video game, The Old Republic, and he's in the books and comics. So he's never been in any of the movies. He's in the period like 4,000 years before Episode 1. But he looks pretty cool. I've always thought he was he looked like a cool Sith Lord, so now we're finally going to get him for May the 4th. But I probably won't be able to get him. Because I'm not gonna be able to probably spend $100 on May the 4th.
Then
So-
why are you so excited about it?
Because he looks awesome, but I may find him on Bricklink or something for $20.
That's a lot, though. What you should
Yeah,
do is, like, not spend any money on Lego until May the 4th.
Well, I thought about that, but I bought the camera remote, and I was like, I don't think I can save up $100 between now and then.
Yeah.
So, I may be lucky enough, depending on how many they make, to find one for about $10 on Bricklink, which wouldn't be too bad, I guess, for an exclusive minifigure. But yeah, speaking of exclusive minifigures, the Lego Movie Blu-ray box set is going to include an exclusive minifigure of the Vitruvius minifigure from the Lego Movie before he is blind. Apparently, in the movie we see him talking, and then all of a sudden he just goes blind, and it didn't even make sense. So that was weird. But this is before he's blind, and he has like a silver robe and stuff. So it's cool. But I'll probably just get the normal DVD box or DVD when it comes out. I guess final piece of news is that the official images for the Ultra Agents sets have come out. So they look pretty cool.
I saw them, and I think the one that's like $40 or something, I think that one's really going to take off because it looks like a great deal.
Yeah, there's like one of the cars. It looks so futuristic looking. It doesn't have wheels, but it looks like wheels. It's like or I guess I don't know if they're actually wheels, but they don't look like wheels. They look like they're hovering above the ground or something. Like with air vents on the side of it, which looks really awesome. The minifigures look really cool. They kind of look like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I guess, characters a little bit. Which they may be basing some of that off of that, even though they have the Marvel license. But those look pretty cool. The one I'm most excited about is the futuristic car one, I guess. Which looks pretty cool. But they've also got like an army tank. And since LEGO doesn't want to promote modern warfare, they took the cannon off the tank and replaced it with arms. Like 2 arms on it. But someone will probably take the arms off of it and replace them with a cannon.
Yeah.
So they can't escape the modern warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll move on to the topic. There wasn't much news this week. Yeah, so the topic this week is kind of inspired from the Darth Revan minifigure and is, what if LEGO was to expand even further than the Marvel and DC comics and just did even more comic book sets? So, I mean, what would you think about that, man?
I don't really read much comics, but I'm always in favor of, like, when they do new themes and stuff. So are you talking about if LEGO did, like, more, like, of the comic superhero stuff? Or...
I mean, you know, there's Dark Horse Comics, and, of course, Marvel doesn't just do the superheroes, they do comics for other franchises, like Star Wars, which I'll get into in a little bit, but, yeah, I mean, I guess that would be kind of cool. But one thing I have against them is that the minifigures look too cartoon-like, I guess. They remind me of the Clone Wars minifigures. Which I know they're basing them off the cartoon, but I wish they'd still look more realistic. Like the Avengers minifigures from the Avengers movie looked really realistic as far as a Lego minifigure. So I mean, and that would be interesting if they did a Marvel and Star Wars crossover theme. Since Marvel now owns the rights to the to make Star Wars comics, it would be kind of interesting to see if they did a Marvel / Star Wars theme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like the Avengers sets that came out. I never actually got any of them because I was collecting Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, but I did think they looked really nice. Of course, I don't think most of them are really known for comics, you know?
Yeah.
Because they aren't really comic characters.
Well, I mean, the films are based off of the comic books.
Yeah, but people know them from the movie. Which, by the way, Avengers is the third most popular movie in the entire world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, people know them because of the movie, mostly, I think. So I don't know if that would really count as, like, doing more comic stuff, but I sure did like the look of those sets, even though I never got around to buying them.
Yeah. And something I thought was kind of weird is that with the Marvel license, they did the Avengers, they did Iron Man 3, and then you had Thor, the second Thor film, and they didn't do any sets for it. And now we've got Captain America, the Winter Soldier that just came out, and we're not getting any sets for that.
There should be.
I know.
There really should be.
Whereas every time they do a DC film, we always get sets for those. Which they're more few and far between compared with the Marvel films. But I mean, I like the style of the Marvel film sets better than the comic sets.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I am hoping to go see Captain America soon. It
Me
looks
too,
awesome.
That looks awesome.
Connecting in with S.H.I.E.L.D. and Captain America and the Winter Soldier, who is not Captain America. And someone spoiled the Captain America for me. They told me who the villain was, and it was like, but I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone else, so. Yeah, so, I wonder if Lego was to ever get the Dark Horse license. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that I know of from Dark Horse was that they had the Star Wars comic book license. And, well, they still technically have it till 2015. So, but I don't see them doing anything with that. But the only other thing I know them for is the Hellboy films and the comics that they were based off of.
Yeah, I guess that's, those are pretty big comics, right?
Yeah. And other than that, that's really the only thing I know of that they do, which is, of course, they probably do other stuff. I think they may have something like Roman comic series. I may be wrong on that, but yeah. But if they did have a Roman comic series and Lego started making stuff from that now, that would be pretty cool. Having sets based off the Roman part in history, that would be pretty neat.
Yeah, that would be cool. I've always liked that time period. just lots of epic stuff happened. Then, I mean, there were times when the Romans were pretty cruel, though.
Yeah.
And pretty mean. But other than that,
I mean, I wish they would stop the castle theme and they would do something like the Romans or the Greeks or something different. How many more castles do we need? But yeah, I mean, that would be pretty cool, and have the mythological creatures. And stuff like that, like Cyclops and Medusa and Zeus and all that cool stuff. It would be pretty neat, but we'll probably never get it. Other than the minifigure packs, which have now been taken over by The Simpsons. But yeah, and I guess in the same topic would be, what if they were to do more comic TV shows, like in the style of The Simpsons, I guess, shows like that, Adventure Time, shows of that style of animation. What would you think about that?
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I do like it when LEGO tries out new themes, but I actually like more when they go with themes that lots of people like and build on them.
Yeah.
So I think that could kind of sum up. So, because I love how they had basically 4 waves of Middle-earth. So I really like that. And then, of course, they have a whole bunch of Star Wars. It's probably the most sets of any theme, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
So, because people love those a lot, especially people like me and you, that are, older than the average LEGO fan, we'll say. So...
Would you like an Adventure Time set?
Huh?
Would you like an Adventure Time set?
Not really. No.
Oh, we need more SpongeBob sets.
Oh my gosh, no. We do not. No more of those.
Yeah, that was bad. I'm glad they lost the license for that. Oh.
Yeah. It's funny because SpongeBob actually has like a lot of adult jokes in it. Even though it's for kids.
Family Guy, The Simpsons not for kids either.
Yeah. But Family Guy's worse. I think LEGO will never make a Family Guy theme. That would be pretty bad.
That would be a step in the wrong direction. But,
yeah.
But they're not probably they don't even have the availability to that theme, because I think Mega Bloks just got, either Mega Bloks or Creo got the license for it, for Family Guy. So.
Well, why?
Well, I guess
LEGO didn't get the license. At least one of the worst themes got it.
Yeah. I guess because they were like, hey, LEGO got The Simpsons, we need to get Family Guy, and we can be in direct competition with them. I guess kind of like Mega Bloks getting Halo to combat LEGO's Star Wars theme and stuff like that. I mean, but I mean, LEGO's never really done video game sets as well, other than Minecraft.
Yeah, that's true.
They
But I mean, there were Prince of Persia was first a video game, and they made some sets out of that.
well, that was based off the film, so I guess you could consider it a video game theme per se. But I mean, it was more based off the film, and the film was based off the game. And then that would have been interesting if they would have done a Lego video game of Prince of Persia.
Yeah,
Then it would have just come all the way around.
yeah. But Prince of Persia was a video game before it was a movie.
Yeah.
So you could kind of say that they based that off the video game. And I actually collected some of the Prince of Persia sets. Like the Quest for Time, and I actually really like them. And I love the movie too. The movie's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, but those sets did look cool. I never got any of them though. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have wanted Nintendo sets, like the Mario things, Smash Brothers, or I guess Smash Brothers is a combination of all the Nintendo stuff, but Smash Brothers, Sonic,
Yeah. Yeah, I think actually that probably a lot of people would want to buy that, especially Lego fans.
yeah, I've got a friend who said that he would buy probably every single one of them if they did a Nintendo thing. He's a really big Nintendo fan, so, and he's also a Lego fan, so he's like, if they ever did do, a Mario theme or, Legends of Zelda, that's what I was thinking of, theme, he would definitely get those. And speaking of that, that's what Lego, I think I reported on this a while back, but Lego said that the next time they got a Legends of Zelda set that reached 10,000 supports, then that they would consider it as a set. Which is good news, I guess.
That is good news.
For Nintendo fans, yeah. But I think the only reason why they really haven't gone there before is because Connects has the license to them.
Yeah. Jeez, I wish Kinects and Mega Bloks didn't have any licenses at all.
Well, then we might have Family Guy sets.
That's true.
No,
That is
they
true.
can get the bad themes, and Lego can get all the awesome ones, except the Nintendo license. Which is sad. Which would be really cool, and I'd probably buy one of them. Especially the
Yeah.
Legends of Zelda one, because that would be neat. It would be like another medieval times, Middle Earth, Prince of Persia theme.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty neat. Although the Mario one's not so much. I don't really like the Mario stuff all that much. I'm sorry.
Well, me neither.
Yeah, I just...
So who are you saying sorry to?
I'm just saying that because there's probably people out there who are like, Mario's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well-
I mean, it's just not my cup of tea, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, or how about Lego Call of Duty, which is not gonna happen, but that would be kind of interesting.
That would be really interesting, and it's so funny because, well, basically, so many stop motions are Call of Duty.
I know,
There's a whole lot of them. So,
those would definitely sell well. But I guess there's two reasons why they haven't done that, and that's because, one is all the games are M-rated, which is, I guess you could say, the equivalent of an R-rated film.
yeah, they haven't. I don't think they've ever done an R-rated film theme,
Yeah, the
and I can
close.
see why.
Yeah, the closest they've ever gotten is PG-13. Which is interesting because I think they're now making more sets from PG-13 films than they are PG and G films.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You've got Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, a good many of the Harry Potter films, and all the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit films.
That's true, but...
And the only PG... And then you had Prince of Persia, which was PG-13. The Lone Ranger, which was PG-13.
That's really true, actually. I never realized that. And most LEGO themes, though, are not like that. It's just that the ones that are based off of movies are usually PG-13, I think.
Yeah. The only PG films I can think of that LEGO's currently making would be Star Wars Episodes 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And I guess as far as other themes that they did do, some of the Harry Potter films as again. And other than that, I can't think of any. And I can't think of any G films that they've done. Well, scratch that. Toy Story was a G film. But yeah. Or how about Lego Halo?
Wait a minute, I can't hear what you're saying.
Oh. Do I need to get close? Is this better? Is this better?
What did you say?
Is this better?
What did you just say?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can edit that out, right?
Yeah.
How about we just turn off our video?
Okay. Yeah, that would work. There we go. How about that? Is that good?
So where were we? I didn't really hear what you said because it got all messed up.
I said, how about Lego Halo?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So I said, how about Lego Halo? That would be interesting.
Oh, how about Lego Halo? Again, that's an M-rated game, and I don't think that many kids would like that really.
Oh, you'd be surprised at how many kids I know of that are like 9 and 10 that play Halo. Pretty much all of them.
Wow.
So.
Well, have they actually played it?
Yeah, they own it.
Wow.
So I mean, I think the newer Halo games have actually been scaled down as far as intensity of violence, and they're being rated T now instead of M. Which I guess is a good thing. They know that younger kids are playing it, so they're scaling it down for a younger audience.
Yeah.
But once again, Mega Bloks owns the Halo license, so we probably won't ever see that for a while either.
Yeah, but I would like it. I mean,
yeah, that would be.
I've played it a couple times. I don't own it.
Yeah.
I played it at my cousin's house.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, since there's already lots of Halo sets, not from LEGO but from other people.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Well, with the Spider-Man LEGO theme, which was like the first time LEGO did a theme with Marvel, they did Spider-Man 1 and 2, but then lost the license, and Mega Bloks did Spider-Man 3. And LEGO had that's when LEGO had the Batman theme, and then they quit Batman, and then they decided, I guess, to get both comic themes.
Wow.
So they basically released all those at once, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why we've never had Spider-Man 3 Lego sets. Although I haven't seen that film.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's a lot of people that don't like the new Spider-Man, though.
yeah, they got someone different for Peter Parker.
Yeah.
A lot of people said he's different than the original one for the older Spider-Man films.
Yeah, I think I've heard a lot of stuff from other people. They say that they hate it, so maybe that's another reason. Well, did they make sets of the newest one?
Once again, that was another Marvel film that they never made sets for.
Oh, well, maybe that's why.
Yeah. The only video game major theme that I can think of that no one has the license to would be Grand Theft Auto.
Oh my gosh.
Nope, not going there. Lego's never gonna go there. Even though the Four Monkeys did do a Lego video about that. Which was actually pretty well animated, but...
Well, yeah, they're really good animators.
Yeah. And there really wasn't anything bad in it. Because it was a trailer.
Grand Theft Autos.
Yeah, it's we're not gonna go there.
Lego's ever gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look, Mommy. Grand Theft Auto Lego. Hey, nightclub set. Oh, here we go. Blown up cars. Stuff like that.
Well, I mean,
it's
that's
more than
already blowing up cars like
it's
that.
just a small part of the game now.
Yeah. I mean, in that game, I think you're basically the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
you steal from people and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's basically a sandbox game, which basically means you can go and do whatever, literally. But yeah, I think you basically can either be a good guy or a bad guy depending on what you do.
Oh.
But yeah,
Well, still, it's...
still it's an open world.
Yeah, but it's just...
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad stuff in it.
Yeah, I've never played it and I probably never will.
Or there's lots I think there's lots of cuss words too, and...
Yeah, it's probably the worst M-rated game out there.
Yeah.
Because past M is AO, which stands for Adults Only, which I've never even seen one of those games, so I think
Wow.
Grand Theft Auto is probably the worst M-rated game out there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so no Grand Theft Auto Legos.
Oh, man, no.
Yeah, I guess I can't think of any more video games out there.
I can't either.
I just don't even hardly play video games.
Yeah, me neither. When you're a brick filmer, you don't have time for video games.
Yeah. I mean, there's Angry Birds Lego,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
but once again, Connects has that license. So,
Really?
yeah, there's like
I didn't know
a
that.
display at my local Walmart where it's got all these Angry Birds Connect stuff in there. It's right across from the Lego side, so sometimes you'll find a Mega Bloks set hiding behind one of the Legos, and it's like, no! Don't contaminate the Lego. Yeah.
I was actually, this is kind of something that pretty much no one knows about me, that I got into stop motion from making a Mega Bloks video.
No.
I'm not even joking. I was 10 years old, and I saw a contest on the Mega Bloks website called Toymation or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to enter it so bad, and I looked at the other entries and they were amazing, and I knew that I couldn't do that, but I took a whole bunch of pictures and I actually, just for the contest, I bought a Mega Bloks set. Get this. For the contest, I bought one. It was a really cheap $12 Mega Bloks set, and I didn't even really light it. I just used daylight to light it. It was crazy. And then I took the pictures with just a random iPhone sitting in our house, and I never figured out how to put the pictures together at the time. And I still have about 500 random pictures from 2 different entries I was going to make on my sister's iPhone. I should actually put them together and see what it looked like, see if it was actually good or not. But yeah, I guess you could say that was my very first stop motion, was a Mega Bloks Halo video. And I'm still clogging up my sister's phone with a bunch of pictures. So yeah, that's how I got started, and then luckily I forgot all about the Toymation contest and started making Lego stop motion.
Yes. Well,
Luckily.
It's kind of sad though that Mega Bloks did that, but Legos never really... I can only think of one time when Legos done a stop motion contest. And that was actually a Star Wars contest. And I didn't even find out what the prizes were. They just said enter it and you might win.
Win what?
I don't know. I never disclosed what the prizes were.
That is weird.
Yeah, and I guess while we're on the subject of bad Mega Bloks stories, one year for Christmas, the only thing I asked for was I think it was $100 Mega Bloks train, and I still have it. Taken apart though, but I still have it. And I was like, hey, and I'd get these Lego catalogs, and I still do. But when I was little, I'd look at them and like, hey, why don't they have the Mega Bloks? Or I guess I just called them all Legos when I was little, but I was like, why don't they have the Lego train in here? So, and I think that was like the last time I ever got a Mega Bloks thing.
That's funny.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll make a brick film of Legos destroying Mega Bloks. The Great War begins. That'd be interesting though. I've never seen someone do that before. Or just have like Legos fighting other toys. Not necessarily brick toys. Like Legos versus action figures. Or something.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think I still have that set, that $12 thing that I got when I was 10 years old.
Yeah, I think I've pretty much got all of the Mega Bloks stuff, too. This is all taken apart, so I can make room for my Lego stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but something I noticed about the Mega Bloks stuff is the minifigures. The Mega Bloks minifigures are... I have one Mega Bloks minifigure, and the arm kept on coming out, and it's completely different from any other Mega Bloks minifigure that they make now. So that's one thing about Lego minifigures, is that they're the same, or as far as the design, have always stayed the same, whereas the Mega Bloks figures have changed over the years.
Well, it's because they started out with such a great figure.
Yeah.
They didn't want to change it.
Yeah. I mean...
It seems, to me, huh? What'd you say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I could get my first minifigure I ever got back in 2003, and it'll work with the minifigure I can go and get at Walmart now. I mean, they never change. As far as the design, the printing does, though.
Yeah, that's true. But, yeah, I think I'm really glad I dropped the whole Toymation contest thing. I mean, they had a huge prize, though, which was all of the Mega Bloks sets. So whoever won every single Halo set.
Wow.
That's pretty big. I mean, I think that's mainly why I entered it.
Yeah. If I was a Mega Bloks fan, I'd be entering it, but I think they still do it to this day. I think it's like annual, from what I understand.
Yeah. Maybe I'll enter it sometime.
No.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. And yeah, so I guess one more thing, we really strayed from the topic this week. But I guess one more thing to add is, what if Lego were to do sets based off of books? Not comics or video games, but just books, you know. But I guess that kinda couldn't happen. And the only reason it happened with Star Wars was because they had 3D models that they made, that they just wrote about in the book.
Yeah.
And that's why they have a couple of sets based off the books. Well, actually only one. It was the TIE Crawler. Looks pretty cool, and I didn't get. But, it's pretty neat set. It's like a TIE fighter. Instead of wings, it's like a tank. And it has wheels or treads on the side of it, which is really cool. But, yeah. So do you have any books that you would like to see converted into Lego?
I don't know. There's a lot of books that... I mean, it seems like the books that I really, really love are The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, which have already been made into movies and Legos. But out of just books that haven't been made into movies or Legos, I bet there's a lot of people who have wondered if there's gonna be a Hunger Games Lego theme.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never watched... Have you watched the films?
I have watched the first film, not the second one. And I did like it, and I liked the book, too.
Yeah. I've never watched the films. I guess not never. That's like saying I've spent my whole life not watching them, but since they're new, I haven't watched them yet. But from what I understand, it's something like kids killing kids or something like that.
I know, the story's, the basic plotline is pretty bad and it's mean, but, I guess it's just that it's so popular, and
I guess it feels so real.
Yeah, and it's not like I would really like that to happen. I mean, I'm just saying there are a lot of fans of the Hunger Games, and it has been made into a pretty huge and popular movie, and it has been made into a lot of brick films as well. But there hasn't ever been a theme.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see that happening, not because anyone has the license for it, but because it's kids killing kids and they don't want to be promoting selling a toy to kids about kids being killed by other kids, you know. Whereas it's fine if, you know, Anakin Skywalker goes into the Jedi Temple and kills all the Padawans, the little kids in the Jedi Temple, but
Yeah, I guess so.
that's why they've never made that scene in Lego. Yeah.
Thankfully they never made that scene.
Master Skywalker, what are we gonna do? He pulls out his lightsaber. Yeah. We come back later and we see all their dead bodies.
It's like, use this special flick fire missiles to blow up the... No.
The Emperor is the one who came up with those. Yeah, I can't think of any books I would want to be turned into Lego, because the only books I really read are either Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Or The Hobbit.
I actually did read a book. Well, actually, I wonder if they'll... Do you know if they have made a Sherlock Holmes theme?
Well, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those are pretty big, but they're big among adults, though, I guess.
Yeah.
So they probably won't do that.
They did make a minifigure, though, of him in the minifigure series. Kind of like the Roman Guard and stuff. I guess so they can appease the fans, they'll make the minifigure, but won't make the whole series around it. I guess that's where they do the more historical and stuff like that, is in the minifigure series.
Yeah.
Or so they don't have to go and make a whole theme around it.
Yeah.
Although that would still be nice.
Man, we took a long time on the topic.
Yeah. So it's like at the 52-minute mark right now.
That's true. We talked about comic books, video games, books.
And Mega Bloks.
Oh yeah.
And Mega Bloks. We might have to edit all that out since this is a Lego Lego podcast. No. Yeah. So like I said, I can't think of any books I would want to be turned into Lego. So yeah, I guess that ends our topic. And we'll move on to a new topic that I'm inserting here, which is it's called the community section of the show. So we'll go over there. Alright, so for the community, here's basically what I've got going here is, we're going to be talking about stuff from major brick filmers, like upcoming brick films of them that they're talking about and stuff, really awesome mocks that we find, from builders, and basically major stuff that happens in the LEGO fan community. So,
yeah,
there's really not anything that happened this week. So, and this is also where we're going to talk about contests and stuff now. So, of course, Fancy Pants' March brick film contest has started, and the subject is, chase scene. You have to film a chase scene.
I think it's April.
Oh, my bad. April brick filming contest. And you have to film a chase scene, and, of course, submit it to Fancy Pants for a chance to win. And if you win, then he mentions you, and that means he'll put a link to your channel, and people will come and check out your channel. So, and that's the brickset.com competition that happened over the past couple of weeks. Is basically where you had to build a Mixels creatures from the Mixels theme. That contest is now ended, and I didn't enter because I don't even have Mixels. They look weird. So, but the winner got to get an exclusive Lego house set. And when I say Lego house, I'm not talking about, a Lego set about a house. In Denmark, where Lego is based out of, they're making what's called the Lego house. And basically the Lego house is like a Lego museum. So,
Wow.
The winner of that contest got to get a Lego version of what they're planning on building. And they're actually working on it right now. And I think it's supposed to be done. I don't even know when it's supposed to be done. I think it's something like by 2020 is when it's supposed to be done, or something. Something around there. So yeah. And Brotherhood Production has posted on their Facebook page that they are working with the YouTube group How It Should Have Ended to make a video for them. So, from the pictures they posted, have you watched any of the How It Should Have Ended videos?
Yes, I love them. They're so funny.
Well, it appears from what Brotherhood Workshop has posted, they're doing the Superhero Cafe in Lego. Do you know about the Superhero Cafe?
Not really.
It's basically on How It Should Have Ended YouTube page. They post these videos about Superman and Batman, and they're sitting at a table in a coffee shop, and they're talking about superhero stuff like trailers and films and stuff like that, but they're funny.
Yeah.
And Batman has this thing about how he's Batman because I'm Batman. And he just keeps saying that over and over again. It's like an ongoing joke that never ends. But yeah, Brotherhood Workshop's apparently working on it, or has worked on the video for him. It just hasn't come out yet, because they are now being commissioned by Lego to make another video for them, which is probably going to be, I assume, dealing with the quote-unquote last Hobbit sets. So,
yeah, that's sad. Why don't they make more?
I emailed Lego last night, and I was hoping to get the email in by today, their response, but I emailed Lego last night asking them, is Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit done? So, let me pull up my email right now to see if they replied. That would be great.
Are we still recording the show? Because we should really wrap this up.
They didn't reply. Okay. Yeah, we're still recording. So I guess that's all of the community section. So yeah, it's been an hour-long episode. And not much happening as far as news. And hopefully you enjoyed our topic. Or I guess groups of topics. It was kind of really random this week. Yeah, so I'm Kane and May.
And I'm Gabriel Clift.
And this has been another edition of LBAM. Thanks for listening.
I'm living in a Lego house. I'm sitting in a Lego chair. I'm watching my Lego TV in my Lego underwear. And is it ever lumpy?